right, let's see. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Keith Justice, and I'm going to tell you about my thoughts of Mandalorian Grogu because the internet is weird and people just can't talk about movies anymore. You always have to say something to mean something else, which is not necessary. Like when you're just talking about a movie, you really can't just talk about the movie itself. Um, I'm gonna lead into this because I just want to let you know you know sure, I'm a Star Wars fan, but what kind of Star Wars fan? And that's pretty important. Let's probably get my mic up here. It's pretty important. What kind of Star Wars fan are you? That way you can tell um, what that person's opinion means to you. When it comes to my fandom, I'll try to go fast. The original trilogy is what I grew up with. Is the first movie I saw in the theater. I went on from there into West End RPGs, which I think above there I have one of the Star Wars RPG books. I love Knights of the Republic. I went through the terror of the prequels, and then also eventually came around to the prequels, thanks to the catastrophic horror that was the sequels. That taught me that, oh no, having a true artist does matter. George Lucas was right, and he is a great artist, and that I miss him. So, with all that oriented, so that you don't know that that I'm not saying yeah, I'm a Star Wars fan, and only toxic people don't like The Last Jedi. Therefore, you should listen to me. Which, no, just the kind of Star Wars fan I am is the person who likes spaceships. I like spaceship battles. It's space opera. It's Indiana Jones action adventure, and good. It had it. I loved Mandalorian Grogu. It was a great movie. What I'm seeing lately online is that critics always seem to try to go with where they think the most people are going to be. Which, when if it's your job and you have a big publication, it does affect your bills on your opinion matching the highest payout. So with how Star Wars has been going lately, the prequel, the sequels, I know were liked by some, but they're terrible. They destroyed Star Wars. That's the reason why it's getting such a backlash, because all Star Wars fans wanted was, what happens next? How does the galaxy and my beloved characters grow, and what kind of guidelines can they teach me on how I can grow? And instead, they just kind of said, "Yeah, you're heroes and losers," and they just all died, and the galaxy's right back to where it was before Luke saved it. And no one wants that. There's no Star Wars fan that said, "Oh man, I can't wait to come back to Star Wars," and just have nothing change and all my heroes destroyed. So it just left a pit in a lot of people's stomachs, where anything after this just means that yeah, do you want to watch more Star Wars to find out that Luke just pours milk on himself and likes to sleep in dirt? And you're like, no, I would rather become a Warhammer 40K fan or get back into my Nintendo DS. So that's why you're seeing constant, just a bombardment of unnecessary, oh my god, this is the worst Star Wars ever. Really? Really? You haven't seen anything worse than this movie? But it's to get in with the big crowd. After so much has fallen with Star Wars, the best bet is to go with, oh man, let's go with the crowd again. The crowd saying Star Wars sucks, therefore this movie must be the worst one you've seen ever. And no, God no, it was amazing. It was fantastic. Another problem people are having is that they want Luke Skywalker back. They want to know their galaxy is okay, and this doesn't do anything with that. It does kind of the galaxy is post Return of the Jedi, which is a fun era that I've always wanted to explore. And now we're with the Mando and Grogu hunting down bad guys and having a lot of fun doing it. The story was fantastic because it's not a retread of anything. It's a send up to certain I got hints from Indiana Jones, the Odyssey. I saw Ray Harryhausen claymation kind of homages when he was throwing down with giant robots. It was just a movie fan's like delight. There's so much fun, so many places, and so many just like situations that are similar, but like not just carbon copies of "Do you remember this?" It's not "Do you remember this?" It's like, "Hey, you like Star Wars, right? Yes, there's gonna be a trapped door here with a monster in it, and the fight just plays out, without doing a complete homage to Luke Skywalker and Return of the Jedi." What I'm trying to say is that Mandalorian Grogu was fantastic. It was really good, and it does depend on what kind of Star Wars fan you are. Are you really into spaceship choreography, spaceship battle choreography? Are you into that? If you're into that, then yes, you'll want to see the Mandalorian Grogu. Are you into having a lone hero walking through neon lit streets with a blaster on his hip? Then yes, you're gonna love Mandalorian Grogu. Um, are you trying to see the next Super Bowl of Star Wars, where the new great threat has arisen and the hero is also rising up to stand against them to save the entire galaxy? No, that's not happening here. And I think that's like kind of like part of what people are disappointed with. The state of Star Wars leading up to this, you have the Alkalite, and they just keep making stuff that antagonizes fans and then insults the fans, and then people are just tired of arguments. They don't want to be a part of like saying they like something or dislike something, and then finding out that they've lost a whole bunch of friends, which I experienced with The Last Jedi, or I experienced it with The Force Awakens. Just talking about Star Wars or being a fan of the Disney era is dangerous, foolishly so. It doesn't end unnecessarily. I lost friends because I said the Force Awakens was terrible because a lot of it didn't make sense. They did the blackmail trope where like they just humiliate him the entire thing, and he doesn't really get having any agency. No good spaceship battles. The fights are bad, and there's no world building. So yeah, of course I'm not gonna like it, but because the internet turned into a place where you have to mean something to mean something else, it was, instead of just talking about movies, adventures, story structure, it was like, are you affirming yourself to be a part of the proper side or not? And that's not what I do with my movies. Movies and stories are their own thing, a structure that I like to study and I like to enjoy. I'm going to close this up. The Mandalorian Grogu was fantastic. It just wasn't the Super Bowl of Star Wars that I think people are hoping for. Something with a great bomb at the end where, for me, if you want to save Star Wars, yes, section those sequels off into their own thing so that fans can still enjoy it if they want to. If you really get inspired or if there's ever really a demand for it, sure, make some more movies in there. But go back to making there's like hope and imagination for the future. If they had done any kind of hint where at the end of this movie you saw that Leia is having her kid, and then surprise, it's not Ben Solo, it's Jason Jaina Solo from the expanded universe, or just a completely new named kid, something that says, look, we're going to have some more fun again, who knows what the future holds, and let's do Star Wars again. And that's what people wanted. That's what I wanted. I want a signal that like makes people go, holy crap, and then like start chattering again and like speculating and their imaginations grow. But you didn't get that here. Instead, what you got was a great movie. Like you got, like I said, shades of Indiana Jones, The Odyssey, Jason the Argonauts. I definitely saw some Chow Yun Fat, of course, and John Woo. It's just a great kaleidoscope of like things that one loves when they love action adventure movies. So yeah, if you like having a gun at your hip, and you're that kind of a dork, and like you like spaceships, and you're that kind of a nerd, definitely find time to go see The Mandalorian Grogu. I'll be buying this on Blu-ray, and I can't wait to listen to the director's commentary. So that's my take. We're gonna try to do more episodes pretty soon. I've just been dealing with lots of personal pet issues, which my cat's doing really well right now. So we're gonna try to get some shows back and get some shows together again. Thank you for listening. We'll catch you next time, and may the Force be with you.